Yes, I'm back. It's Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. Thank you, and sorry for the wobble. I'm not using a camera crew at the moment. I'm just making it a bit more casual, and I sort of prefer to sit at my desk here so I can see the charts, and yeah, just being in my own space gives me a bit more of an intuitive connection with what's going on. So welcome to those of you that are new. I'm the founder and director of astrology.com.au, and practice the Western style astrology, but have a preference for the Vedic form of astrology. What we're doing here is your Western sun sign astrology, and I do tend to apply some of the principles that I understand there in the Vedic tradition, such as this month where you've got 3 planets: Mercury, the Sun, your ruler, and Mars, a very, very friendly planet, all located in the 11th house. And later in the month we're going to see there a new moon in this 11th house in the sign of Gemini. So having those 3 planets there is a very, very fortifying thing. The 11th house has to do with really the fulfillment of one's desires in life. It is the natural sign of Aquarius, which shows our humanitarian instincts, our love of people, socializing, friendships, this type of thing. So these could be the things that are uppermost in your mind for most of you, not all of you. Depends on the specific time and place you were born, and that has to be conducted to a more thorough analysis of an individual horoscope. But generally speaking, these are the areas that you may be focused on. It's interesting to note that there's a retrograde Mercury in this area. It's a planet that rules your 11th house and your 2nd house. Both of these houses, Gemini and Virgo, have to do with your financial well-being. And for some of you, therefore, this retrogression, which continues up until the 12th of June, and maybe a little bit after because then it moves forward, will have an impact on your finances and your income. So you have to be a bit more careful there. And having the fiery planets, Sun and Mars, there in that 11th house, show that there could be disputes with friends, with those you work with, even with siblings, because the 11th house has to do with the elder sibling. Sun, your ruling planet, will transit over this planet Mars. That causes what's called combustion, and it can aggravate the planet and the affairs of the houses that particular planet rules. In your case, the 9th house and the 4th house. 9th house, according to South Indian astrologers, is the father, although most people take the 10th house to be the father. Still, in this case, Mars simultaneously rules the 4th house of your horoscope, which is your mother. So we can safely say that there could be some problems there associated with one of the parents anyhow, or something on the domestic front. Both of these planets are friendly. The combustion can probably tire you out or create some problems for another person where you are sucked into the whole process or procedure. But generally the conjunctions, as long as they're not too close to each other, such as we see now, can be favourable and bring with them good financial returns through your work and through your business activities. The new moon, as I said, takes place there on the 17th in the sign of Gemini. New friendships are going to start, and also maybe new life goals. Some of you are perhaps starting to feel a little bit worn out. Some of the goals you've had may not be fulfilling you. It's okay to change, as long as you do it with a very, very sophisticated plan. Think it through. And of course, that's not always easy when Mercury is in that retrograde motion. But thereafter, the new moon usually heralds the beginning of new cycles in and around all those things we've been talking about. So the full moon on the 3rd takes place in Sagittarius, which is your 5th house of love affairs. And then the opposite sign of that, which is the 11th house of Gemini, relates to friendships, but less so the intimate ones, such as lovers, or the 7th house, which has to do with your longer marital style ties. In any case, I see this as a promising sort of month for you, especially in the 2nd half. We see, looking at your ruler, which is the Sun, there are nice aspects there. We see the sextile aspect to Jupiter around the 9th. Jupiter, again, another one of your favourite planets because it rules the 5th house. It is exceptionally strong being in your sun sign during this period. So there we see that 60-degree aspect from the 11th house to the position of Jupiter, bringing with it good luck, good finances. Opportunities can emerge there, and really the world is your oyster right now. I mentioned a couple of months ago, however, some of you do have to be careful. Jupiter's transit through the sun sign or the rising sign is notorious for weight gain. So with all that success comes, as they say here in Asia where I live now, the Buddha belly. It's supposed to be a sign of good fortune. So yeah, good for finances, but not necessarily good for health. Later in the month, just tying up here with a couple more aspects, because I'm an astrologer at a smorgasbord. I like to take a bit here and a bit there, you know. I don't like to be too methodical. It becomes a little bit boring. Mercury, there is one hard aspect to that Mercury again, which is in the 11th house, having just come out of the retrogression, leading up to the 24th, in a square to Neptune in the 8th house. So problems can ensue there from financial loans or banking issues, taxes, wills and legacies, that sort of thing, are all under the jurisdiction of that 8th house. And Neptune is a bit confusing, more so when there is a right angle or a square, as we call it, that is forming between those two planets. So I'd be careful towards the end of the month. It's nicely offset by the first house transit of Venus in conjunction with your sun sign around the 25th. That's sort of happening throughout the month for all of you, so that's also fortuitous. And next month, we'll get to that next time I talk to you, you'll see that conjunction of Venus and Jupiter extremely lucky in your sun sign. So not bad at all, Leo. Do join me again next month. In the meantime, check out astrology.com.au. We have the monthly reading in a more detailed textual basis, daily readings, which I update every day, and the yearly forecast, so you can contextualize what I'm saying here with the larger patterns, the larger cycles in your life. Look forward to your company next month. Good luck. Bye-bye.